The domain of educational informatics itself is a domain that is still defining itself. It's a domain that is education informatics, educational informatics, how does it relate to health informatics and other kinds of informatics, business informatics, science informatics. Being that as it may, and the fact that educational sciences, education as a research domain itself is not something that is that old. It may be 40 years old, 50 years old. You didn't study education prior to middle of the last century, if you want. Therefore, it's a fairly young science. So defining educational informatics within that is also brand new. It's still trying to define itself. How does a lab fit in that kind of a schema? Well, I think it can be a huge building block and a huge possible contribution to the domain, because as we exist, we are helping define what educational informatics is or will be. We've had incredible participation from the likes of Dr. Maggie McPherson, for example, at Leeds, who in one of her books actually made a huge contribution to defining what educational informatics is or should be. But yeah, we're still really trying to define what educational informatics is. But in a nutshell, it's anything to do with information sciences, computer sciences, computer technology as it relates to education. Not just about education, but how it relates to it in a general sense.